Hello and welcome everyone to Final Fantasy V Career Day Randomizer. FieryBlizzard, please chill out so I can not be distracted as I welcome our viewers. And well, first of all, why don't I welcome my co-commentator helping me out today, Z-Man. How you doing?
Hey, I am doing fantastically. I'm looking forward to this first semifinal match we've got going on here.
Yeah, this is the semis. There's only going to be two matches. They're going to be semi-chaos, and let's explain to the viewers before the race gets going what that actually means. Do you mind starting so that I can make sure that the racers get their starting signal?
Absolutely. So what we have going on tonight, everybody, is we call it kind of semi-chaos, but really there's only one real chaotic thing about it, and that is that so the job crystals you get, right, their native abilities are still the same, right? Samurai will have Guild Toss, Blue Mage will have blue, right? Black Mage will have black. But the abilities they learn with every ability level up, with every job level, is going to be randomized, right? So, let's say you have a monk, right? Because then this is something I actually did. Let's say you have a monk. The job level 1 of a monk could be times 6. Job level 2 could be summon 6 or summon 5, right? Time level 3 could be equip swords, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for here. Is these runners are going to be looking for jobs. Now keep in mind, then this is another little chaotic thing. Job crystals and abilities will not be in shops. They're going to be randomized into treasure chests. So they're going to be, now the good thing is the game does tend to force feed you some of the quote-unquote lower level crystals early, right? It'll feed you a bard, it'll feed you a dancer, it'll feed you a monk, a thief, that type of thing. It will feed you those relatively early at relatively low tier checks. But then you're not going to be able to buy equip swords in a shop. You're not going to be able to equip slash in a shop. So that kind of weighs into things, right? All of their money is going to be spent basically toward items and any higher tier item that may have been randomized into a shop. And you're also going to see different jobs being used in different ways while our runners are actually trying to get job levels that are going to get them to the end game. All right. So, I mean, who knows where the mix ability is going to be? Who knows where the Guild Toss ability is going to be. So, all right, and we are off and running here. We are going to get our Castle Tycoon checks out of the way first, and both of our runners take the left turn at Albuquerque.
Absolutely. Let me just mention, you mentioned a couple of very important points. One being, where is Mix? We may or may not find it, but that's pretty huge. And the other being slash ability is actually the mastery ability for samurai. So even if you find the samurai job, it's quite a while before you can get slash, and that is something that the runners tend to rely on because in other settings of the randomizer, it's usually something you can find early. So we won't be as reliant on some of those things as we usually are. But Guild Toss, well, if you get Samurai, Guild Toss is a default ability for the job, so you can still get Guild Toss that way if you can't find it any other way, through learning it from another job or something.
Yeah. Let's see. First hint: areas hold no key value. From Darth Vader, a question in chat: what is the estimate time? About 2.5 hours probably for this. Maybe less if some of these great abilities like Mix or was that a Ninja? They're starting with Ninja. That is fantastic.
With Ninja is so good because Ninja gets throw by default. Ninja is fast, and it can really carry the early game. We're going to be probably looking to buy some scrolls and maybe javelins in the early shops.
And the other really nice thing about Ninja is its early job levels come pretty quickly. So they're going to get a couple of job levels off the Ninja, and maybe one of them will be that elusive Mix, or Guild Toss, or Sing, right? Thornlit at the Sildra spot. Thornlit, basically good for 10,000 gil.
Yeah, that is almost certainly going to be sold, although the Berserker Crystal is also there, and thus you could use Thornlit to underflow your Berserker for big damage, but we'll see if either racer actually does that. I don't know if they'll bother.
They found a monk crystal somewhere too.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until now, but like you were saying before, Z-Man, Monk, one of your favorite jobs, has many ability levels, and it might be worth staying in Monk job for a while.
In this mode, it's one of my favorite jobs because Monk does its early levels come super fast. So if there are some good levels, they'll reveal themselves pretty quickly.
Absolutely. I agree that Monk doesn't get much love in some of the other flag settings, but with the early, easy-to-get abilities, you might as well just investigate what they are. It could be something really good. Racers buying all kinds of stuff. Nice, cheap stuff, at least. Can sell the... Didn't notice if they sold the Thornlit yet or not, but I probably would at this point.
Omnius Tiara is a really nice pickup if they happen to find the Dancer job crystal somewhere soon.
I see in the weapon shop there are Phoenix Downs for sale. That's a very important thing to remember where they are and to also have a stock of them.
Now, we just have to hope our runners don't mash through the job levels and that we can actually see the job levels as they get them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Second tablet, I think it said World 2.
World 2.
Was the Zoc hint. That's one of those things, you're trying to go fast. You need to see what abilities you're learning, so they may or may not mash through it. We may have to start, doing some ability menu peeking and whatever we can to know what the players actually have for abilities.
Yeah, and the one interesting thing about this particular rule set here, flag set, is endgame strats could be wildly different, right? Because without mix and without sing, let's just throw this out there, right? Without mix and without sing, endgame strats become interesting.
Right, we have to do a much more difficult final fight, and depending on sort of the randomness of which jobs you chose to level, we may have different abilities on the two racers, and they may have to approach the final fight. And even, fights leading up to it in different ways. So it should be quite interesting.
Thunder Scrolls here, that's fantastic. But
Thunder
of course,
Scrolls
first...
are my favorite.
Yeah, but before we can even think about endgame, right, we have to find the anti-barrier and the bracelet to get us access to Exdeath's castle. We have to beat Exdeath to access World 3, and then we have to find the 4 tablets. And again, one of the other deviations here from a quote-unquote standard flag set is that our runners do not start out with any tablets.
Yep, which makes things a little extra hard because you can't get three free amazing things from Sealed Castle in World 2. So, yeah, we'll have to just... Chances are good that we will clear some fights in World 1 and we'll probably get a tablet. And so it should work itself out, but you never know. Ooh, a Mirage Vest drop from the dogs?
From the Wild
it must
Max.
have been a rare drop because only one was drops, not 5 of them. See what happens the second time. So Fiery is doing a
Terrain,
quick
I
little
saw
grind
terrain.
here. Learned terrain, which is really good for the first fight, although I don't think Ninja necessarily needs it. But that Mirage Vest might be worth coming back and doing some dog grinding later in the seed as well. I do think it was a rare drop, but you've got a 1 in 16 chance for each of those 5, so like a 5 in 16 chance isn't too bad. Yeah, and that's another thing that we should mention about the seed. Freddie in chat reminding us that drops have been randomized in this, so That's probably going to be helpful to the racers, although there are certain drops from certain bosses that we tend to rely on that we cannot rely on anymore. But I have found in past that you tend to get some really nice drops from just in general.
Let's see what we have here. We have
on.
Shoot.
I think a javelin may or may not do it. Oh, scroll is plenty. Instant kill. Nice to get Shoat out of the way early.
I saw white. I think it was white 3. I think.
Oh, nice.
Prototypes will not necessarily. I mean, they could drop dark matters if they happen to randomize that way, but no, it is not a guarantee that prototypes will drop dark matters.
Yeah, so it could be rough.
Mystic Knight, White Wind, Dark Matter. Meh, nice.
Moogle Waterway, Path of the Void. I think that was a Karnak scholar telling us that, maybe. But that's a nice, easy check, usually. A World 2 check, though. We need to go to World 2 to get that one, but it's one of the quicker World 2 early checks that one would do. Ooh, Gold Hairpin from Ziza's book
really nice
in
pickup.
Sergei. Very nice.
All right, so let's see where Fiery goes now, because Fiery has a bit of a history of not necessarily doing traditional things, but now he's going to do the traditional Torna Canal next.
I think Arch is noting some of these things that are for sale in World 2. He doesn't have a lot of money, so he's going to have to... and he also doesn't know that he is going to get Mystic Knight. Oh, darn. I don't think you can one-shot Gogo yet, so Fiery resetting out is going to come back a little later, maybe after doing False Meteor first, something to get some experience so that you can do the Javelin throw one-shot of, or maybe the scroll.
But that Gogo find is fantastic, because that's basically a free bounty of ability points that you can stick on somebody and hope you learn something good.
Yeah, I believe it's 200 ability points that you get from Gogo, and so basically you're learning a bunch of abilities all at once. You probably want to even spread out your team amongst as many jobs as possible, so you can learn as many abilities all at once from just that one fight as you can.
All right, so to answer a question in chat from Nemono Solens, what exactly does Path to the Void mean? Well, Path to the Void means that it is either it will give you an item that you need to beat the game, as in one of the 4 tablets, anti-barrier or bracelet, or it will give you something that leads to one of those 6 items. So, you know, it may... Oh, Time Mage Crystal, that's nice for Arch.
And we also get a hint that the anti-barriers in World 1 from the Librarian, which, you know, that's fine. We're doing a lot of World 1 checks right now anyway, so we'll probably hit upon it pretty soon. And here's Fiery headed to the Waltz Meteor.
Yep. And I think ArchfieldMonk or one of our runners found a Comet earlier, so Time Mage and Comet might be a nice source of damage for the really early part of the game.
Yeah, if you can find Comet extremely early, it's good. It doesn't stay good for all that long, but it is good. We've got Phoenix Down boss. Let's see if we can get this to hit. Missed the first try. Oh, Zerker.
Smack him down. Yep.
Problems. I think Fiery just wants to not have a Zerker in the party for this and try again real quickly.
I think he's trying to one-shot with the Phoenix Down and take the ability points from this battle and hopefully get it on all 4. I think that's what he's looking for.
Fair enough. ArchfieldMonk from the Werewolves singing their song, I believe, got an enhancer, which is great for the Mystic Knight, and also found maybe the Black Mage job in Kiryu Valley. Really nice.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding when I had said in the introduction that this Summoner Crystal, this randomizer will feed you crystals early. All right, slow down, Fiery.
Lots of great options. Even
white
just
5, red 2, aim, white 5.
Okay. And the bracelet was at the Waltz Meteor. One of the things we need to get into Exith Castle. It's coming fast and furious here. I would say that the summoner is so great just because by default it can summon, and that is one of the best abilities in the game. So even if you don't get great other abilities from the job, you probably want to put somebody in summoner as soon as you get an actual summon you can use.
Yep. Now, the only bad thing is, kind of what we saw out of the Wind Shrine, right? Shoat doesn't drop the Shoat ability necessarily. When they get to the Golem fight, Golem will not necessarily drop Golem. So chances are they're going to have to pick up the Golem summon and the Shoat summon from a shop if it's available.
Yep, or if maybe it'll be a reward from a boss fight, but the chances of getting those two very common summons, because they are items, is reduced. Fiery getting a hint, Solitary Island as the Falls page? It's a hint for later, maybe.
And it's Califisteri here at the Kiryu Valley spot. Question in chat from here. Do bosses give experience? Generally, yes. There are some that do not. A couple of the Greg fights do not. The Odin fight does not. A couple others.
Yeah, the unfortunate ones do not, but most of them do. And sometimes if you kill the boss in a special way, you can get experience from them. Very normally you can't. For the most part, it doesn't have a huge effect on the game unless we're cutting the experience multiplier, which I think remains unchanged in this particular race.
It does. It is a 4x experience multiplier.
Yeah. So, ooh, Timmy. Can we throw at Timmy? A few javelins should do the trick. 1,500 hit points here.
Timmy not necessarily hitting too hard here, which is good.
Yeah, it's nice to see him not hitting hard, because he certainly scales up to hit quite hard later. Guardian Knife. Okay. Nothing too special in the boss castle.
Galoof is not going to get any experience here from the Shoat fight, unfortunately, but Archfield does take down Shoat. Let's see if he gets anything. There's terrain, there's white one, and there's cover. So nothing great so far for Arch.
But he is going to get Mystic Knight in just a moment from the Crystal Shards and those other things that we also saw, some of which were good. Let's see again real quick. Mystic Knight and White Wind. Dark Matter is also nice if we do get Mix at some point.
Yeah, and I would imagine, we'll probably see Arch go to the Mystic Knight and slap that enhancer on real fast.
I certainly would if I was Arch. The Chemist Crystal. Well, there's our ticket to Mix. Probably at the save point, you switch somebody to the Chemist job. Wait.
Well, no, Mix is not the default.
My bad. Yeah. It's not
Nope,
default.
Mix is not the default. Drink is the default ability of the Chemist.
Yeah, so who knows where Mix is? It may or may not be worth it to use Chemist at all. It would be a gamble to do so, because the job actually has kind of bad stats. So, Arch going for the kill, but I don't know if he's strong enough to kill Gogo in one shot. Of course, we have to. Gogo's got his talking in first, so we have to wait. But I believe throw has already been selected.
Yep, this is what, 600 HP here?
650.
650.
At the canal. Yeah, I don't think it's
I don't know if he can
hit
do
hard
650 on a javelin.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Red Mage and a Hunter. Nope.
Uh-oh. You better reset now, Arch. Yeah, he did. Because Gogo was about to drop many meteors on Arch's team right there. So he's going to have to do what Fiery did and come back later.
Nemono Solens asks, what happens if you do the expected way to beat Gogo and just do nothing? Well, that's pretty much what you do most of the time, even in the randomizer here. You just wait the 2 minutes, and then Gogo does his thing, and you get the 200 ability points for quote-unquote killing Gogo. So,
Yeah,
yep.
it's just that because Gogo is so early, we can save time by doing other checks first and then coming back and one-shotting Gogo and not having to wait the full 2 minutes. So
Right.
it's a little
Yeah.
faster.
Ooh,
Exploder. That's always nice.
Yeah, Exploder's very nice, especially now. If they run into Omniscient and have a way to cast blue, well, that's a good way to take care of Omniscient real fast.
Yes, you mean Apocalypse, but I know
Apocalypse, I'm sorry,
I know what you meant to
Apocalypse.
say. Yeah. Fiery taking on some Black Flames, learning Dark Shock and then throwing a scroll is a really easy way to learn that ability. So he's already thinking about getting the blue ability and learning and doing some death by math in the seed here, although I'm pretty sure we have not learned
I saw
blue.
equip katanas on Archfield's side as a job, but that's the only thing I managed to catch.
Equip katanas is a nice thing because if we happen to get the Mass Moon, then you get first turn and the ability to cast haste and...
Two-handed, that's a good ability.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Oh, white 5, that's nice.
Yes, I do think we saw white 5 pop up earlier already. It was learned fairly early. And I think
ninja,
that we
that's
also
a ninja
got,
job, that's right.
Yeah, I think we saw Dispel in a World 2 shop, although that might take white 6 to use. Not sure. I think it's
Dispel is
either white 5 or white 6.
I think Dispel is white 6 along with Holy.
Yeah, probably so. So unfortunately, we won't be able to use that spell until we either learn white 6. But who knows? Could happen. Fiery looking good on levels. I see he's level 19. I think Arch is maybe level 17 or so. They're both doing just fine on the level progression, getting stronger quite early.
Oh, the Soul Cannon here for FieryBlizzard. One throw of a Thunder Scheme should take care of it.
Yeah, certainly the launchers and maybe a second throw for the okay to take out the cannon itself, but it's nearly gone already.
There it is. MP 30%. Yay!
Not the greatest ability, but
and the pyramid page for his trouble.
Now, which meteor was this? The oh, this was the Lonka meteor. Okay.
Yep.
Lonka has a pyramid page. I expect some more meteor checks soon. Also, maybe.
It wouldn't shock me to see Fiery go back into the canal at this point. He's gotten more than enough ability to one-shot Gogo.
Absolutely. I think that would be a great idea.
No new good jobs for Arch. It looked like just counter was the only one I noticed.
Fiery does pick up the float spell, which with Time Mage is quite helpful. Be able to cast that one.
So Arch back into World 2. I would imagine we'll probably get a Bale Castle check and probably a Moogle Waterway check.
See Bolt 3 Spellblade. Looks like we need to sell some things. I also saw Ice Rods for sale, which Arch used Ice Rod against Timmy. So maybe they've both shopped. Yeah, I believe they've both, at this point, have shopped Karnak. And, Bal Castle Gate fight coming up. As well as the Karnak Meteorite.
Atmos.
Oh, no. Oh, well, good job. Lena eats the double comet, so only one person goes down. And then this fight should just be pretty easy. 2,500 hit points, maybe throw some javelins.
And just have Atmos eat an ice rod. That should do it, maybe? No, one more. Greg 4 at the Karnak Meteor.
I don't think he's going to last too long. And there goes Atmos.
Alright, so this gives a boatload of a decent amount of ability points. So I think we'll see Arch getting some jobs. Let's see what we can figure out. HP plus 10. Thanks, game.
Ooh,
Oh,
there's a
fourth tablet.
tablet. All right, that allows us to go to. Oh, and also, did we have anti-barrier already?
Anti-barrier from the Karnak Meteor.
That's a new one. Okay, so the tablet and anti-barrier, both really good things. I would, if I was Arch, I would probably go straight to Kuza, hoping for something good that I can either equip or use. Here you call World 1 is a hint from FieryBlizzard.
So really,
I don't
Arch
know if
is
we'll need
looking.
that.
I mean, I would think he would be looking for something like an Odin summon or a Bahamut summon.
Well, that would be huge.
In Kuza.
Absolutely. But that summoner job there, I think maybe it's about the best thing you get. Oh,
Third
another
tablet for Fiery.
I think that was a Tycoon Meteor.
Yep, and we know that Moogle Waterway is Path to the Void, so we have... Geez, we've got 5 out of our 6 key items more or less accounted for. More or less.
Yeah, it seems like Moogle Waterway is either going to give a tablet or something that leads to a tablet, and there's really only one tablet that we don't have any information about yet. We had a tablet in World 2 hint, Freddy in chat is telling us, and so there's a very good chance that Moogle Waterway holds the second tablet, and we'll have 3 tablets, anti-barrier and bracelet before before even going into Exdeath's Castle. And there's the one shot of Gogo.
Sword Slap, Hide, Image, Guard, Sword Slap. That's all I saw.
Yoichi bow is nice because we got the Hunter Crystal, basically the best bow for the Hunter. Not a bad thing to have. We could also go Berserker strats here if we wanted to.
Guild Toss.
Oh, where was that?
Looks like Guild Toss on the ninja job.
Wow, so sticking with ninja earns you Guild Toss. That's quite nice. Now all we need is, if we want to make the final fight easier, is mix or sing. Ship Graveyard, Path of the Void. I don't think we've done too much of it. We haven't done the Ship Graveyard yet.
Well, that's what Fiery's doing right now.
So we're going to have to pay close attention to what the reward is, because it's really looking like this is sort of a front-loaded seed in terms of key items.
An ArchfieldMonk, so he went to Moore to check out the Chicken Knife and Brave Blade chest. Out of the Chicken Knife chest, he got a Dragon Fang and immediately reset out of it. And so then he went back for the Brave Blade and got a knife.
A basic knife?
A basic knife.
Wow. Oh, I think I would reset again and take the Dragon Fang. A nice Wizard Rod there for our Black Mage in the Ship Graveyard. The basic knife does have some uses, but I don't think it's gonna win out over just about anything else.
Was it flame? Fiery will show you how.
Or we'll just throw a javelin instead.
Yeah, same difference.
Yeah. Oh, 860 is enough to beat Gogo from throwing a scroll there. Archfield takes him out, learns White 6, I think that was?
Yep, from somebody. I missed 2, but it's definitely Guild Toss on a ninja and White 6 on somebody.
Now, the Ship Graveyard had the Elder Branch, so that is spicy because the Elder Branch, well, it could give a key item or it could give nothing, in which case Fork Tower would be required in this seed.
Right.
So that is going to be a very spicy check when we go to more forest later.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's basically either going to be a tablet at Moor Forest, or it will be fork required, or it could be something, and then our runners have to choose between fork tablet and following the path that the Elder Branch leads them on.
Right. right? So it
Which
could be like,
that would be even spicier. Like if it was, say, adamantite, or like the I don't know, falls page or something along those lines.
Dancer Crystal at North Mountain. Dancer coming with Dance by default potentially can do massive damage, sort of the glass cannon of the game.
Mm-hmm. And given the equipped katanas that I think Fiery has, if you find Mass Immune in Kuza Castle, right, and you have equipped katanas, throw that on a Dancer with the Lamia's Tiara and watch the damage fly. Is this randomized?
Yeah, even the Tempest actually would be amazing too. Another great katana in the game. Another Yoichibo and the Thief Crystal, which we often do not use very much in the randomizer,
But again, in this flag set, it might actually be fairly useful because the Thief, kind of like the Monk as before, it job levels up very quickly at the beginning.
Yeah, you can get a few quick abilities on Thief. It would not be a bad investment at all to just be Thief for a few fights or something. Oh, Archfield has the break spell. I missed him getting that. And yes, Ifrit is vulnerable to break, but unfortunately the spell missed on the first try. Try again. And there he goes. Turn to stone. Somehow he can still talk, though.
And Ifrit here is an example of boss that gives nothing for beating it. And we thank you very much, SpeedGaming, for the raid. I hope everybody enjoyed wherever it was on the SpeedGaming Prime channel. Welcome into the Final Fantasy V Career Day Variety Tournament. This is semi-final number 1 between FieryBlizzard and ArchfieldMonk. Joining myself, I am Z-Man, and joining me in the commentators tonight is Dryzalizer. We are, as you can see, just about half an hour into this race. This race has been very fast. We already know where 2 tablets are. We know of the path to the other 2. So now it's just a matter of getting jobs, getting abilities, and beating the game.
Yeah, both racers not having any trouble with this particular flag set where we have the abilities that we learn are randomized. We've been finding some good abilities from the starting ninja job and some of the others, and we've also just been finding a lot of jobs, and some which just have good default abilities as well, like Mystic Knight and Summoner. So yep, it's going well so far. Fiery did not realize he was maybe trying to do a quick grind here. You never know what these things might drop. You might get 5 things out of this if they have a nice common drop.
I'm not sure what I'm not even sure what he's hunting for here.
I don't know either. But it might just be he knows that this is a pack of 5 and he's looking for whatever they drop. 5 air knives does not hurt.
No.
You can throw those, or you can use them on maybe your Mystic Knight or something for a while. Well, I think we do have Enhancer already, but
air knife on a summoner with Sildra?
Yeah, we've got air knives for everyone now if we want to spam summons, especially if we do find Sildra.
Which again could be in Kuza. Both of our runners have at least 1 tablet. We have not yet checked Kuza. Let's check Kuza, please.
Okay, so Fiery sold 4 of those air knives for money, but he knows where to get them again if he needs to, and I think that has been part of his game plan since the start, is take on some big packs of enemies that are easy to kill and see what they drop, because one of the things that we said at the beginning of this seed is because the drops are randomized, they're often quite good. Like, I don't think they're really tiered. You can find amazing things from regular enemy drops, and so he's incorporated that into his strategy for this flag setting.
You know, just looking at Fiery doing some shopping here and more, the red shoes, a ribbon, and the rainbow dress are all for sale here, though. So, you know, you're one-stop shopping for your dancer.
That's amazing. Yeah. I don't know if we will see dancer or not. Dancer swords, it's sort of a personal preference in terms of how highly each racer values the job. I said before it's sort of a glass cannon. It can go down pretty easily with its low hit points, but it can certainly hit hard if you can get the strong weapon onto the dancer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you proc a sword dance from the dancer's dance command, and you have something good on, like let's say chicken knife, right? You can easily do quad nines ridiculously early with that.
Yeah, and of course you have to find that strong weapon, and you have to deal with even with the sword dance gear on, you can only get up to 50% sword dance. But I mean, 50-50 odds are quite good to do such high damage. Usually works out. Arch taking on a panda who can be annoying. This is in a cave somewhere. I didn't actually catch where
We're in the
we
Moogle
are
waterway.
fighting him. Okay, so we know this is a required location. You've got to go here. It's got 5,000 hit points. If he does that drain against you, or if he does other mean things to you, it could be a tough fight. We've got 2 people down, but I think Arch can probably win. And there, he just did.
All right, so let's see. Betting money seems to be on tablet 2 here. And there it is.
All right, so that means the branch is our ticket to the final tablet. Although it may be just the beginning of a chain.
And we are getting a Kusa check, finally! And Arch having 3 tablets in his back pocket, we're going to get pretty much anything useful out of here we're going to get.
Yeah, you can grab a lot of stuff in here. I think I would be in the mode of, if it sounds useful, pick it up and don't even worry about the decision-making process so much, because you're able to take 9 things and 3 of them are usually duds. Okay, and Fiery also going for a panda fight at Moogle Waterway using some gill toss strats, and it'll take 2 gill tosses basically to take out a panda, so why not do it the quick way?
I was going to say, I was a little surprised Arch didn't take the Phoenix Esper, but there he goes.
Oh, my math must have been off. Could have sworn it did. Maybe there was a drain in between that I missed. Yeah, okay.
This is
two Earth Hammers in here?
This is one of the worst. This is one of the worst quasi-standard Kusa castles I've seen in a long time, unless these last 2 spots are something good.
I missed a lot of what's in here. I feel like there's
rune
been
axes.
2 rune axes, 2 Earth Hammers. They really want you to go with... Oh, and an air knife,
God,
which is also not that good.
This Kusa castle is terrible.
It almost seems like Phoenix is one of the best things that was in here.
It might be the best.
Ugh. Well, I mean, Galuf... I see we have to go to Morphorce too, so we can't even stick with Galuf for the easy underflow Zerker. Although we have the other items if we want to use someone else to underflow as well. I just don't think that if I was a runner, Zerker would be a job that I would really favor.
No.
Unless I was desperate for damage, which, see what happens.
We'll have to remember to ask our runners about this absolutely fantastic Kusa castle that they're seeing. There's Golem on ArchfieldMonk's side.
Good find. That was in Rugor town. Flame Ring is decent. I mean, it could come in handy if you need to absorb fire. But
money.
Other than that, gosh. Yeah, and it's money if you need money later on and don't need to absorb that fire. Looks like Arch might be headed right to more forest, which we know we have to go to.
All right, now the question is this going to lead to a key item? Is this going to lead to Tablet 1? Or will it lead to nothing, which means Fork Tower is required?
Or will it lead to some other key item and lead us along some kind of chain? Third tablet World 1. I think we already knew that. The Guido hint was not really useful. I think it's that's information we basically already knew.
Now
Fiery learning his level 5 Doom here.
Yep, this is a patented Fiery strat. Fiery is a big proponent of what we call death by math. If you have the blue magic ability, having level 5 death and dark shock and level 2 old, you can pretty much take anything down given time and math.
Yeah, so Fiery is hoping that at some point we learn the blue ability from one of these jobs, because so far I don't think we have. And It's a great ability to have, and so he's got his Dark Shock, he's got his level 5 Doom, which is the most common way to do death by math, I would say. But he doesn't actually have the blue ability to do it yet. There's Aqua Rake, also another nice blue spell, if we ever get the ability. Under Rod's very nice.
Moor Forest, pretty loaded with gold, but not a whole heck of a lot else. That white suit is nice, though.
Yeah, that's like an end game mage armor item, so slap that on and probably leave it on for the rest of the game on your mage. Wall spell might be important. We can certainly cast it with our white 5 or 6 that we have found on the way. And so this is a key moment right here. Arch in Moor Forest early. This is a required check. We know that from the hint. What is the boss? Catastrophe. Annoying.
Annoying, but
gonna
not
take a while.
Yeah, this is just going to kind of take a while.
Yeah, it would be nice to do Death by Math on Catastrophe. 1 Dark Shock reduces his level from 71 to 35, and then you could level 5 Doom him, but nobody has blue yet to do that strat against him, so instead we have to burn through a little over 31,000 hit points here, and it's probably going to be a fairly tough fight. Goon Crystal, okay.
Throw anything you can at him.
Okay, Fiery now getting Time Mage, which is something that Arch got much earlier. Arch going with the Zerk your Knight strat, which is very nice because it allows your Knight to hit quite hard. I don't know if he's got double grip on there or not.
He's got two-handed, I believe, on his Knight.
Okay, so is he wielding 2 swords? Yes, okay.
I think it's an enhancer and some... Uh-oh. That's a problem.
Oh my, that's a party wipe problem. Very rude. But no, Arch has float and he has Time Mage, so he can go right back at this. And
I wouldn't be surprised.
Jobs.
Yeah, he's going to change to a time... yep, there we go.
So Fiery doing some of these World 2 checks that Arch did even earlier. I wouldn't really say that anyone is in the lead. Arch is doing a check that is required, but it's a tough one. Fiery he's got fewer tablets, but I still wouldn't really consider him behind yet. He must have just done more World 1 checks.
Pretty mentioning that we do believe Arch has wall on his, I believe, his white casting ninja. So if Arch can time this right and he gets a wall up on a floated character, then he'll basically lock Catastrophe into spamming Gravity 100.
Yes. The only thing you have to keep an eye on there is that wall does wear off, and you have to recast it as the fight goes on, but that can sort of just be white user's job to do so. You hope that the timing doesn't work out where wall wears off and then Catastrophe immediately gets a turn before you can recast it. It just makes it a little bit tougher, but for the most part, it should work out okay. Oh, okay, so Fiery's also going to more forced already. Apparently, he's done enough things. Let me see if I wrote down. Of course I didn't. Didn't we get the 4th tablet really early? I'm not sure where we got it.
It was
but I see
unhinted.
on the...
Wasn't it Bale Castle?
It may have been. I didn't write down what we got at Balcastle, so that's probably it, yeah. Okay, so I'm surprised that Fiery has not gone there, because that's a very standard check that you do once you enter World 2. But I'm sure he'll go there soon enough. Maybe a rude awakening for him as well, fighting Catastrophe here. Okay, there goes the float from Arch. Does anyone have white to get the... Oh yes, here we go. Get the wall up. Uh-oh, Berserk first. Okay.
Oh, Arch might not have the wall spell.
Well, what you can do, since the Time Mage is hasted, is you can just keep casting Float, and you're going to get your turns in quicker than Catastrophe is. And even though you're not going to be able to do much else with your Time Mage, you're going to manipulate Catastrophe's AI, so he can't really do much against you. So that's another solution without actually using Wall.
And our wonderful trekker Gaia confirming that yes, Tablet 4 was Bale Castle.
Oh, thank you, Gaia. I've been trying to note things as we go, but the seed just started so fast, getting key items left and right, that my notes are not entirely complete.
Yeah, so this is going to be a slow fight for Arch, but ultimately a pretty safe one as long as he keeps the float spell active, right? Because now all Catastrophe is going to do is just spam Gravity 100.
I think it might be advised to buy more rods after this, because he's using quite a few rods in the fight, and they can come in really handy. So let's see how Fiery reacts to seeing Catastrophe here. Did I see Gill Toss? Ooh, Catastrophe has a lot of defense. Gill Toss, not a very good strategy against him, unless you're much higher level than this.
Freddie in chat asked, do we have a good strat for X-Death 1, much less 2?
Castle X-Death, if nothing else, we have decent level and we can throw javelins. We can also use Gill Toss, but that's a expensive strat because you have to do it many times to win. Whereas throwing javelins is much, much cheaper. I did it in my last race. I basically had the whole team throwing javelins for a little over 2,000 damage per throw, and that got me through.
All right.
Yeah, we're short on Gill, but the javelins can be bought in a shop. So
yeah,
just go back and buy some more.
I think was that Magic Sword level 6, and there's Tablet 1.
Wow, we have all 4 tablets already. They're all in World 1 and 2.
So both of our runners are basically going to be in go mode 45 minutes into the seed.
Amazing. You can go to Exith's Castle. You basically are only taking fights there if you feel you need experience, or if you're looking for something like, I don't know, maybe the Moogle suit or something. And I do think that we want experience because this is sort of like a high frequency of boss checks here in the castle. You might want to do those so that you don't have to do so many boss checks for levels in World 3 and in the Void. But Arch did skip the basement. Not sure, he may skip some of these other fights too. I think I would at least look and see what the bosses are, and then if it's a tough fight, I might just reset out of it.
I don't know what they're going to do for endgame, though.
Me either. All I can say is there's a lot of loot in the Void. Another thing you might do boss checks for here in the castle is to try and get Mirage Radar, so that you can buy some very powerful things once you get into World 3. It could be rough. This is the thing about jet seeds is that sometimes you're not really prepared for the end game because you get there so quickly. And Arch,
oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying Arch is at least checking the treasures here. There's some pretty good things like a wizard rod.
But given that Arch hasn't, restocked on anything at any shops before doing this, I'm not 100% sure what his plan is here for XDeath.
I don't know either. He did not go shopping to restock. Like you said, he had a long catastrophe fight that depleted a lot of his resources. Certainly he's picking up some things that he can throw, like that partisan, but unless you have a plan for Castle XDeath, you tend to not rush in so quickly. We'll have to see what he goes for. I mean, it's possible that we have sort of missed something. Hey, I see the blue ability on Fiery's side. He must have... Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's just a name.
Okay. I'm like, wait, what?
One of his characters is... He's named his team probably after the abilities that he would like to find. He's got somebody named Time, Blue, and Red and Black. Okay, I don't know about Red unless he really wanted to learn X magic after. Who knows when he might have learned it.
So the triplets at the Greg 4 spot, which would be fantastic if we had the Odin summon, which we don't.
Yeah. You could give everyone Black Mage and spam Break, but they have some evasion. Oh my gosh, Omni is not good either.
That ain't happening.
I think we have Mute Spellblade. At least one of our racers, if not both, have bought it. So in theory, you actually could take on Omni there. It would just be a slow fight. Speaking of slow fights, Fiery versus Catastrophe taking a while.
Mm-hmm. And also, speaking of slow fights, I don't know how this fight is going to go quickly for Arch at all.
No, me either. I'm a little worried he's going to run out of resources. He's going to run out of things to throw and run out of rods to break because that's his main source of damage. I did see Black 6 learned on Fiery's side, but I'm not sure if we have learned any of the high-level elemental spells for Black magic.
I might have seen a... Now, I know we've seen some like Ice 3, Fire 3 sword, but I don't know if we've seen the spell.
Exactly. We need one of those because we've got wizard rods. I think we could make at least 2 black mages with wizard rods if we had a strong elemental spell. But
is Phoenix boosted by the wizard rod?
Yes, it is. But Phoenix damage isn't all that high, and it costs a ton of MP. It costs 99, or half of that if you have the gold pin. I don't think it's a great offensive spell to use in the fight.
And it looks like we are going to get Fiery, I think, checking the basement?
I think this is the play that I would make. I would do some of these checks. I mean, Arch did the upper checks, and they were just tough fights.
Or
so
not.
I don't blame him. Okay, well, Fiery is also not checking the basement, so that's fine. Gotta go fast, right?
Alright, so... We're starting with a shell on the Time Mage that is condemned and Golem.
So, setting up defensively for potentially a long fight. Hasting people is always good as well. Yeah, it might just take a while to beat XF here. It does seem doable. I also think you're losing out on a lot of resources, and some of these items that you might be tempted to throw, although it looks like Arch is not using Ninja. So I won't mention that, but if you were to throw a bunch of items, everything but the Javelin actually sells quite well, and you would be losing out on money by throwing those things. So he's decided not to do that, which I think is a wise decision. I'm just not sure how long this fight might take to win.
Because we do have Fiery hot on Archfield's heels here, coming up XDeath's castle.
Okay, good float by Arch. Only one person took the Earthshaker damage and can easily heal that back up.
Has Arch done any damage to X-Death yet?
Might still be buffing up. I don't think I've seen any damage done. The knight just stepped into the front row, though, so it's probably going to do a double swing soon, and unfortunately, both of those swings have a 1/3 chance to proc a dispel counter, so you have to be a little bit careful with that particular strat. But the rest of the team is available to reapply buffs, I guess. Oh my, we're doing image too. Oh, berserking the knight. Okay, so two-handed knight berserked is going to be our damage dealer, and everyone else is probably on support duty.
All right, so to answer a question in chat from Esper, what is the gimmick? Well, this week we're terming this semi-chaos. And basically what we mean is, for example, take a look at on screen, right? We have a summoner on screen who has the summon native ability, but all the job abilities that they learn is completely randomized. Like, for example, our ninja learned Guild Toss at job level 3 or 4. One of the jobs learned white level 6. One of the jobs is learned black level 6. That's the major gimmick, quote unquote, with this. But also enemy drops are randomized. So we saw not a quad, a 5, a penta air knife drop from a random encounter just outside the Moor Forest. So yeah.
Over on Arch's side, we're getting about 2,200 damage from the Zerked Knight per turn. That's going to take 16 or so turns to beat X-Death, so it's going to be a little slow. Also, we're dealing with dispel counters. Let's see if Fiery has a different strategy. I'm not sure if he even checked the other bosses in the castle, because he's at X-Death already. Zerking up the Hunter, who has the Yoichi bow, I believe, hoping for some nice crits. And also has a ninja, so can throw things at X-Death. I think that we might... Well, it really depends on, whether both racers can survive this fight. I think that Arch is definitely going to survive. Just don't know who might come out ahead. There's a chance that Fiery could come out ahead if his less defensive party does good damage.
Something that we also have to keep an eye on, though, is that Fiery did not go to Hiryu Valley, so he doesn't have to summon Crystal, and he doesn't have to summon level 5.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be something that we're going to have to watch, because he's not going to be able to soak the physical damage through Golem like Arch is right now.
Absolutely. That was a huge find. Also, I don't know if Fiery even got the hint that Moogle Waterway was on the path to the Void, because was that the one that he doesn't have?
No, he's got all 4 now.
Oh yeah, he's got all 4, my bad. So he must have...
He must have done Bale Castle and we missed it, but our wonderful tracker Gaia got it.
But didn't you say Summoner job was in the Moogle Waterway? Oh, Hear you. Okay, yeah, that's a spot that I often don't look at myself. So that is a big difference for Arch. Having Summoner is there's a really good chance you're going to get an AoE summon on the way to the end, and that helps a lot. Now, we don't necessarily have Mix or Sing yet to really boost the damage output, but even so, Summoner is just so nice for the safety of Golem.
So Arch is into the second stage here of X-Death. So each one of these attacks, each one of X-Death's natural turns, he's actually going to get now 2 attacks, 2 spells, 2 hits, who knows?
I think he has a small chance to only take 1 turn sometimes, but you're right, it's usually a double turn. I think he has like a 1/3 chance to do nothing on each of those, on one of those double. Maybe on each of those double turns, yeah. And you love to see him only do one action, or even the extremely rare nothing at all turn.
And meanwhile, Fiery, but I was going to say Fiery is doing yeoman's work with his Yoichi bows, because he's got 2 Yoichi bows and one on each of his hunters, and they seem to be doing like 75% crits to X Death. So I think we're going to see Fiery probably come out of this fight ahead. Maybe.
Perhaps. He started the fight later, but I do think he's doing more damage. Some of those bow shots have actually missed, which is unfortunate, but I mean, these are hasted berserked characters with a 30% chance of crit from Yoichi. Pretty good damage. I think maybe we only have one Yoichi bow and the other one is like the Avis killer or something. And even that flame ring coming in handy. Lena on Fiery's side just absorbed a Fire 3 from Castle X Death. Very nice. Oh, it was Arch that got through first.
Yep.
Okay, let's see if Fiery can keep pace by at least winning this fight first try. I think it's fairly close. Learn the Condemn spell from X-Death on Arch's side. Could come in handy if we get the blue ability.
So, now the big question is, now what?
There was a crit, and that was enough to kill. So very, very close finish in terms of access to World 3. What do you do right now? It looks like Arch wants to go straight into the void. It's extremely scary right now to do this because
I wonder if he's just
you don't have a whole lot of power.
I wonder if he's just dipping the void for the first chests here to maybe come up with a better plan.
Well, I think that you see what you get in the void. There's plenty of chests before the first fight. If you can win that first fight, then you can get access to the save point and you can try and work your way through the void. Hopefully you don't get stuck and held up too bad. Level 5 Doom, running shoes, very nice.
That's nice.
That is huge.
Lamp
is excellent for the... Lamp is so huge in this flag set for the final fight, so you can take out a piece of X-Death using the lamp. And money is good. All of these void treasures are excellent so far.
And
Blue
Fiery
Mage Crystal is huge. Now give us Big Guard, and we don't need levels.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I missed that. What was it? Blue Mage?
Yeah, just got Blue Mage in the void.
Okay, but I don't think we have. Well, we don't have Big Guard yet. And we do have Fiery going to Pyramid to loot the Pyramid. It looks like.
Also a smart play. The Pyramid has the most loot of any place in the game, and certainly our runners do not feel powerful at this point. So going to the Pyramid is a totally justified thing to do. If Arch has to warp shard out of the void, which there's a good chance he might have to, then he's going to give a lot of time back to Fiery. So even though it seems like Arch is doing great here, I think he might have missed a chest. He's going back for it. Okay. Diamond shields. It all comes down here to whether does Arch want to leave the void now? Does he want to go for this void forest fight? And whether he can win or not is going to either save him or lose him sometime. Okay, so he's not doing the fight. But I would say the looting was worth it. That was good loot.
Yeah, that was good. It was good loot, but now he's got to... I think we're going to see him loot some World 1 locations here because he doesn't have any other key items.
Well, what key? Oh, well, he could... Okay, he doesn't have Pyramid Page. He doesn't have... Yeah, I see. He could do, like... Dual Pass, but you're only getting the reward. You're not getting any good looting out of that. Yeah. He doesn't really have much that he can do in World 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point you just have to start looting places and try to come up with something.
I think if I was in Arch's shoes, I don't know if I would have done everything that he did, but once I was in the Void, I think I would have gone for that Void Forest fight and basically seen how far I could get in the Void before I had to warp out, if at all.
The statue fight here in the pyramid yielded 5 Thor's hammers.
Wow, that's great money. You can, I think you can throw those too. I'd have to look that up. It is not throwable, so just sell it. That's good money.
Another set of running shoes.
That's Fiery's strat at play again. He's now taken 3 normal fights with that are packs of 5 in order to get those drops and sell some things or use them. Yeah, Hear You Valley. Didn't Arch already go to Hear You Valley, or did he? He had to nope out of the boss fight. Right?
He had to nope out. The boss was Callow.
Yeah, he could take Callow now if he wanted to get some experience, but maybe he doesn't care to do that, to go retrace those steps. I saw Leviathan and a Sage Staff in the pyramid could be useful.
Yeah, but yeah, it would be useful if Fiery had any method to summon Leviathan, which we know the Summoner Crystal is actually in Hear You Valley, and we haven't seen Summon Level 5 yet.
Yeah, I wonder if Fiery will bother to loot Hear You Valley at this point. He's already has World 3 access, and he probably thinks that the later game treasures and things are going to be better. I don't really see him going back to Hear You Valley to get Summoner jobs, so again, that key difference that occurred early on could come into play even more.
Pyramid not yielding anything phantasmic, that's for sure.
Yeah, Coral Ring might be useful. Oh, and we are using a dancer.
A back row dancer. Grr.
Yeah, well, safety, I guess. These cursed ones actually hit quite hard.
Kick ability doesn't do a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, kick is pretty weak, but we might get some monk ability points that your opponent might not bother to try for, so this could be a calculated move to just try and learn some of those early monk abilities and see what they are.
Are checking the basement. Oh, hi, Necrophobe!
Necro, is this basement of...
X-Death.
Okay. Not too bad there.
Okay, Magic Sword level 4, as well as 4 Crystal Helmets.
Well, Crystal Helmets are good sells. You could wear one of them or so, maybe if you wanted to. It's not that important.
We have Arch going back up. I wonder who's going to take on, Omniscient or was the other best that we noped out of up here?
In Exeth Castle, it was
darn
it. It was
wait, what's he? No, he's hunting for something.
Triplets.
Yeah, triplets. That's right.
Yeah.
He's hunting for something here.
Well, you can learn level 2 old from these magic dragons. You can learn White Wind if you can confuse the red little bunny there. In either case, though, I don't think it's worth the time. Yeah.
Yeah, they know White Wind from Wind Shrine.
Arrow 3 you can learn from these magic dragons as well. Okay, so Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go right ahead.
I was going to say, at the top of the pyramid, we have Carbuncle, so he's just going to wait on Carbuncle's first 3 actions here, and then probably cast a break to kill Carbuncle.
Yeah. I've been a little disappointed with the loot in the pyramid. I think there's a decent amount of stuff that you could sell, but other than that, it didn't give that much that was that great. So all that looting in the pyramid, I mean, it got you something, but I think Fiery is probably a little disappointed. I wouldn't be surprised to see him also dip the void, like Arch did. Another Wizard Rod, okay? You really would like one of those high-level black elemental spells, please.
I mean, that'd be great, but they don't have Mix or Sing to boost it.
Yes, but even just for the fights on the way, the damage is so nice when you have a Wizard Rod to boost it. And we definitely have plenty of Wizard Rods in this seed. Didn't see if the pyramid gave a key item or anything. Did you happen to see?
Just the Wizard Rod.
Oh, right, okay. Let me mark that as nothing.
So now Fiery is completely out of other items.
Key items to investigate?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
What will he do next? If I were him, I'd probably stock up on some stuff, and I would dip into the void to loot, and maybe to even see how far I could get. Ooh, Ice Golem. Maybe didn't see that before, didn't visit Rugor before. Gotta be happy about that, but now he still needs that summoner job, or to find something like summon 4 or 5. Really looks like Arch is trying to learn level 2 old or arrow 3 over there. Just got hit by arrow 3, so that's good. I don't think level 2 old would be a priority for me after already having beaten Castle Exdeath, unless you really are worried about having to do death by math against a boss later. And, you know, usually most of the bosses that you level 2 old into level 5 doom, you can defeat by other means too. This magic dragon only has a 1/3 chance, like every 3 out of 4 turns, to even cast level 2 old, so it's kind of annoying sometimes to sit here and hope that he uses the right spell on you.
All right, and there is Fiery going into, looks like the Odin check here.
Yeah, no key item required for this. Also, did we do Tool Pass yet? I don't think so.
Nope. Haven't seen that yet either.
There are a few chests on the way in this Odin spot, so maybe he wants to open those up.
Yeah,
But
maybe pretty low level.
Yeah, they're not particularly high tier or anything, so he's actually going to only check one of them. But maybe, maybe just looking for a key item reward from defeating the Odin spot that, we're looking for. Maybe Mirage Radar would be probably the ultimate thing.
Moogle Suit would be nice.
Moogle Suit would be incredible, yes. Those are the two. And I would argue even that doing those checks in Exdeath Castle, I lost a race once because I skipped one of the checks in Exdeath Castle because I knew I didn't have to do it, and it gave the Moogle Suit, and it gave my opponent Gill Toss, and I reached the final fight first, but I lost the race because Gill Toss was so much faster at the end. That is a very tough call to make when you're actually in the middle of the race. And there, finally, is the level 2 old, so I think that Arch just has to finish off this fight and we'll be just fine.
So I think Fiery is grinding statues for Warhammers. Is
the gold exchange worth it? If you throw some Thunder Skulls here, that's like a little bit more economical way to kill the...
Magic Sword 6 from someone.
Nice. What's the... Okay, so Fiery actually wants to get the 5 statue formations, I think. It's a little bit
Yeah, it
more
looks
efficient.
like.
He ran away from 1-2, but then he's not getting them, so whatever, he's just gotta do this.
Well, Warhammer sell for what, 7,500 or 10K?
I can look that up. I think he just got Summon 3 on somebody from gaining a level, job level. Warhammer sells for 3,200, which is worth getting.
Yep.
Although you're probably spending close to that on these 2 statue fights. I think you're spending almost exactly that much on these fights already.
Yeah, but if you're getting, 2 or 5 for 1,
True.
you're coming
The
out ahead, I
5 would
guess.
be... Yeah, you're coming out ahead.
Crayclaw down here, black level 5.
That's nice. Black level 5 does let you... Oh, we already had black level 6, didn't we? Never mind.
Yeah.
Not too useful to see black 5.
Well, it depends on what character it is, I suppose.
True. We can't just slap black 6 on anybody if black 5 is... Wait, are these Warhammers or Thor hammers?
Thor hammers, I'm sorry, Thor hammers.
Oh, okay. Those should sell for even more. Let me look that one up.
I think those are 10K each, I think.
Oh no, they actually don't sell for very much, unless the randomizer has changed it, which it probably has. So I bet the Thor hammer does sell for at least 5,000, if not 10,000 each. So that is good money. So Fiery doing this, absolutely worth it, I think.
Pretty sure
The value of the Thor hammers is going to give him a lot of money. He does have his Giltos here, so he probably wants to use it.
So there is black level 6 on somebody.
Okay, good. Get all those job levels. The nice thing about the statues is they give a lot of ability points too.
And I completely missed if Toolpass gave anything, but our tracker guy, I didn't check anything, so I'm guessing not.
I also missed that. If anyone in chat saw what it gave... Oh, Flame Whip. Okay,
Flame Whip,
thank you, guy. Flame Whip is good money, I would say, at this point. The game, 15,000, I think, it sells for. So, another thing to sell.
Ooh, here's a 5-pack for Fiery. Gotta be happy to see that. So this just strikes me as he is grinding ability points here. I think the Thor hammers are just a bonus, but I think his primary goal is to grind statues for ability points. Oh wait, when did Arch pick up a Massamil?
Oh no, I missed it. He's got some running shoes in inventory that he should probably remember to put on after this. One thing about this Gil Toss with the Dancer, see the Thief Lana is doing more damage. If we had even stronger job doing Gil Toss, you might be able to one-shot the statues instead of two-shotting them. Because they have, I want to say like 33, 50 hit points or something, and we're almost there with Thief, which is not a particularly strong job. Like a Bruiser job with Gil Toss might be able to just one-shot those statues and save you money and time.
Okay, so Fiery's done his grinding, it looks like. I mean, the guess is that he was getting Gil Toss and everybody. That's the guess. And going back into Tool for something. Probably stocking up
More-
on supplies.
Yeah, Phoenix Downs were in here, if nothing else. There. Was that a 500,000 he just got? Yeah.
Well,
500,000 gold off of selling all those Thor hammers.
So I wonder if he's just going to gill toss his way.
And some elixirs. So basically, if you do this, you're never going to run out of MP. You've got healing to full for everyone. You can gill toss. You're not gonna have the power without mixing or singing to kill before Almagest goes off. But if you have the hit points, you can just use maybe a high hit point job and put gill toss on it and just win.
Yep. And
slowly
just
that
win
way.
by attrition. Yep.
Bunch of scrolls he's buying. Okay, could be useful. Like if you have a mage job and holding a wizard rod and you throw scrolls.
Yeah, that could work. Because remember, for those of you out there, the scrolls are based on magic stat, not on strength.
Yeah, a strong mage especially with a wizard rod throwing thunder scrolls can do really good AoE damage. But I'm not sure if we have learned the throw ability. I feel like it's something that came with Ninja, and we haven't seen it.
I think you're right. I don't think we've seen the ability.
Yeah. In fact, our list of abilities is looking quite small, which is kind of nice when you're in that menu. There's not a whole lot of stuff to scroll through, but you also are much more limited in your options than you would normally be at this point of the game.
Boss 1 in the void. Oh boy.
Not happy to see Stalker, but you probably have a spell or a spell blade. Sleep, maybe?
Sleep?
Ooh, Arch has reset without even trying to fight this boss, which means some time loss from running through the void and such. What is he gonna try and do? Maybe he wants to learn Dark Shock and do the death by math, but you need Mix to do that. I have not seen Mix yet. I would try and go with sleep strats, but I'm not positive if we have the sleep spell or the sleep spell blade. I would imagine we might have at least one of those things. Another thing you can do is
go ahead.
Sorry, I think we've picked up an ice shield, and the counter from Stalker is Blaze, but it's ice element. So you can gill toss Stalker and absorb ice on one character, and they usually get through the fight by themselves, doing whatever. Not my preferred strat, but it's possible.
Arch looks like he's kind of struggling to figure out what to do next.
I think I would be if I was in his shoes too. He is probably aware of what he's got to take on Stalker. If he doesn't have anything good... Oh, I think he's trying to get Black Flames here. The thing about this is, though, like I said, you actually, in order to Death by Math Stalker, you actually need Mix, because you need to get him down to level 1 and then boost him up to level 11 so you can have him down to level 5. If you don't have that, he's level 7, which you would have down to 3, which you'd have down to 1. It keeps being odd. So you can't even use level 2 old against him at any point. It just doesn't work out. So even though he learned Dark Shock just now, I think, I don't know if it's going to be that useful for the Stalker fight. Meanwhile, Fiery is looting the void and is probably loving picking up this stuff here. Really good loot. I'd like to think that Fiery is prepared to try and go all the way through the void here, now that he has entered. I don't know for sure if he'll be able to, but...
I wonder if Stalker, maybe, you just kind of suck it up, you put a golem up, and you just use ninjas and just throw javelins until he's dead. It's going to be slow, but with golem up, You just hope and pray.
Yeah, the spot only has 18,000 hit points. It's not that much. It's
Yeah.
not going to take forever to win the fight, even if you're doing it sort of all style, which is slow. You'll get there eventually. If you've got some healing, you're not going to die. So, yeah, might just have to do it the slow way.
All right, Fiery's going to come across his stalker, and I'm sure be absolutely thrilled.
Fiery picked up Blue Mage, but he did not make anyone a Blue Mage. He does have the sleep spell. So, he AoE targeted the Stalker, which has a chance, I think, to draw the counter, but either way, no big deal. One more turn and they'll all be asleep, and then you can dance or magic them all down, and without them changing location. And dance can be really powerful for this. Like a sword dance that does tons of damage will not wake any of the stalkers, so it could be quite good. So he's using Bio instead, which is just a spell, which is fine. Dance is not 100% reliable, as we talked about before. And simultaneous racers taking on the same fight.
And here come the Mind Blasts.
Fiery put Sleep Spellblade on his Knight. Because this is Stalker, I'm pretty sure that hitting the Stalker with Sleep Spellblade does not cause it to wake up or to switch forms. It's one of the weird quirks of the Sleep Spellblade and this particular boss. I don't know if he's going to bother to actually do it. It looks like he's just has it ready in case things go bad. I have done a little bit of experimentation with this, and I think that you can keep the Stalker locked into his correct position with Sleep Spellblade attacks. On the other side, Arch does not have Sleep Spellblade. Not sure if he has the Sleep Spell either. So to me, it looks like Fiery has a big advantage in this fight. We'll probably get through first. Even though Bio is not the strongest spell, it's going to get the job done eventually.
Yeah, eventually it will get the job done, and then the Knight with the Sleep Sword. Between the two of them, I mean, they're doing what, 2,000, 2,500 damage each. So, looked like the Stalker changed position though.
Yeah. So that was my bad on that. I think that after you use Sleep Spellblade, that's the only thing that you can use, or else it will change position when it takes damage. So Fiery has lost the correct one. Is going to need to find it again. But my plan would be here actually to sword dance, but maybe we don't have a great weapon on the Dancer and it doesn't do all that much, and the consistency of Bio might actually outdamage. Say like a 2,000 sword damage doesn't really get you any advantage over Bio guaranteed 1,100 every turn.
So it looks like we have a Berserked Magic Knight on Archfield side. It looks like a Fire 3 blade, and he's just doing his best there.
I think that's Mute Blade.
Is that?
Yeah, but I've done this strat before, and it's just really annoying when your Berserker chooses the same incorrect target that it did in the past.
Yeah.
1 in 4 chance basically to hit the right thing. It's pretty rough, but we already knew that Arch was going to have it rough in this fight anyways, so nothing wrong with this strategy. It's just it's going to take a while.
I always love to see Stalker here. At least I suppose it's not a Twintania spot.
Oh yeah, a Twintania would have 2.5 times this hit points. So
all right, there we go.
Fiery has gotten through. Yeah. I'd much rather see Stalker here than just about anywhere else in the Void, really. I think this is the lowest hit point spot in the Void, so... You know your opponent has to do this fight too, so they're going to take a while, probably, to get through it. You're not really losing any time, even though the fight itself is slow. Nice defender for a knight. Already has one, okay. And we at least have this save point here on the Void, which is nice to know that you'll never have to redo that Stalker fight.
I don't think Fiery even used a tent. I think this is just to peek the boss and figure out what you can do to it. Gargoyle!
Let's see, do we have Break Blade?
I don't think so.
Sleep Blade and... You could do Sleep Blade to put them to sleep, and then you can just spam the break spell, and eventually it will hit, and they will die, because they're weak to that. I think we have both of those things available to us. Yeah, Fiery has Sleep Blade, and he has break spell, pretty sure. He might have to change somebody back to Black Mage to use the break spell if we don't have Black 6 available any other way. Actually, I don't know which job it was that gave Black 6. All right, we've got it. So, yeah, I think that's what he's setting up. Meanwhile, Arch, things are... Stalker's really annoying. Has some attacks, you know, where you might get paralyzed from the Mind Blast. You might get confused. This Zerked Knight is mini, which means that okay, now it's normal size. When it's minied, it just doesn't do much damage at all, because I think that sets your strength to like 0 or 1. Yeah, put up this golem here, and you're safe from the gargoyle attacks, and then you just sleep blade them individually, and then spam break. Or rods.
Fire rods.
That works too, yep.
Arch trying to do whatever he can to damage the Stalker. Oh, hits the Stalker with another hit from the Knight.
Lots of rod breaking here. Oh, good play by Arch to use the arrow 3. We just have to keep playing the guessing game on where is Stalker now. I hope that Fiery doesn't have any plans to break too many more rods later, because his supply is getting a little bit low already.
Oh, arrow 3 hits Stalker, and there goes Stalker for Arch.
Very good. Arch finally gets the win here. He might have to actually smack... Ooh, we've got a fusion from the gargoyles. That's when one gives all of its HP to the other. That is a sort of a rare occurrence. I think they only do that after many turns have passed, and then they only have like a 1/3 chance to do it. You want to summon Shoat and try and instant kill this one, or put it to sleep or something so that the other one doesn't come back. Because if it comes back... Alright, that was probably Sleep Spellblade?
Yeah, that was definitely Sleep Blade.
Alright, now just spam Shoat until it hits and you win.
It looks like what Fiery's doing is spamming
Mind Blast,
Mind Blast to
alternating with
yep.
sleep, yeah.
Mind Blast to paralyze it, and then the Sleep Blade to keep it asleep.
Yeah, every other time you're waking it up with that Sleep Spell Blade, but if you can keep it locked down with Mind Blast, you probably are okay. Now, these do have some significant magic evade here, so you could lose some time spamming Shoat without it hitting, but eventually it can hit, and it has a good hit rate too. I think that would have been my plan, but it can work. Not really doing death by math here. This is a level 33 enemy. It doesn't really work out that well. Keep chopping its level in half or
does
anything.
Arch have level 3 flare, maybe?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Fiery... I haven't seen it in his menu. Arch got some level-based magic, but I don't think I've seen level 3 flare. Well, maybe we'll see it right now. Or at least we'll see whether he has it or not. A little more rod-breaking strats happening here. I'm gonna get that golem up. Okay, blue, arrow 3, yes.
Yeah, arrow 3, that'll be nice. So again, slow and steady.
And golem is up, so I don't really think Arch is gonna lose this fight, although that fusion could happen, and that is a dirty trick that the gargoyles can sometimes play on you that you have to adapt to once it happens. That's why I prefer to put them to sleep and instant kill or something. I have 2 running shoes that Fiery now is putting on. Looking to get the save point here. Ooh. Well,
and it's Leviathan. Or Titan, sorry.
He's going to hit hard here, but
yeah.
I think we can take him because we have Golem, basically. And Mind Blast is really good because Titan can be briefly paralyzed. You can spam a bunch of Mind Blast and mostly lock him down.
Probably want to cast Float here, Fiery.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. His Earthshaker doesn't hurt too much, but it's nice when he wastes a turn trying to do it to you and it does nothing. Oh, I like this. With the running shoes, Ferris might be able to Mind Blast and keep Titan completely locked down, in which case you wouldn't even have to worry about...
right, you wouldn't have... Yeah, you don't have to worry about
the float or anything. Yep. Yeah. I was nice. It ignores magic defense. It also inflicts HP leak, so if nothing else... And it gets boosted by the Wizard Rod, so you are making some decent progress with that spell in terms of your damage.
And Blinky goes down on ArchfieldMonk's side, but immediately is brought back to life.
So I'm starting to think about possible strategies for the final fight. Let's just see what we loot all the way through the void before we really get too worried about it.
I think Fiery's plan is just Guild Toss the thing.
Yes, but in order to survive Almagast, you do need enough health. Do we know if this knight is at max health or not?
I don't know.
Because you need like 1700 health.
For Shell.
You can't...
Right? You could
do we
shell up.
Have Shell? I guess we
so.
do have Shell because we've got White 5 or 6, and I remember Arch was at least casting Shell during the Castle X-Step fight. So that's a way to survive Almagast and get through. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Obviously, there is potential for some really nasty bosses in the void here that could hold us up, but we know Necro's not there, right? Because we saw him earlier.
Nice. Rama, you like to see? Because you can shoot Rama.
Actually, I don't think.
Or no, is it only break? Is break only?
You can He's not heavy,
Doom?
and he's vulnerable to the Doom spell, but I'm pretty sure he's not vulnerable to Petrification. But Deathclaw works. Not heavy, takes him down to single-digit health, and then you can just hit him once, and he will die. Good strat.
Yep, good strat.
I wasn't aware that we had Deathclaw, but
And
that's
there's
the
the
power
fusion
of-
on ArchfieldMonk's side.
uh-oh. And you put the gargoyle to sleep. You do not want that second gargoyle to come back. Kill it quick. Have we been doing... Oh, no. So I actually think that those gargoyles are now both at max HP, and Arch just resetting the fight, maybe gonna take a different... Oh, resetting out of the fight now. Maybe gonna reconfigure his team for a quicker kill. That's unfortunate. Quite a bit of time lost. Oh, I think he warped out of the void.
That might have been a... Oh, no, wait. Was that a misclick? No. Where's he going?
Sometimes people do misclick and warp out of the void, but I'm not sure what he's doing. He might just want to shop. He's going to go to the Odin spot. Okay. So he feels like he's got to get more stuff before he can advance past that fight. And from what he had, he might be right. Like, I don't think he had the tools that Fiery had to take on the gargoyles. Like, I didn't see Sleep Blade on Arch's side. So he was sort of at the whim of the gargoyles if they chose to use fusion into their script. This is a problem. We have a blue mage with level 5 Doom. All we have to do is wait and maybe do a little bit of healing, and Quintania will just go down to level 5 Doom.
That's right. Once he charges up. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Once he charges up, level 5 Doom, and goodbye.
Yep. Now, I would say probably if you're Fiery, what you're hoping to find in some of the last chests would be big guards so that you don't have to single cast shell on everyone. But other than that, I think he's well, certainly, you know, something like Hero Song and the Sing ability would work, or Mix. I don't think he's got the items necessarily to do Mix. He might just go for it. Yeah, Shirt works too, almost every time.
There we go.
When it's weak.
And Leviathan at the Odin spot, which it looks like Arch resets out of that.
Does he have Thunder Rods, perhaps? I'm not sure if he does. Arch has a good high gold total, if nothing else. Like, he's been making money in this seed. Fiery is level 35, which is a good level to try and finish the game at. Unless your team's really bad, you should be able to finish the game at that level. Potentially only one more boss to get through, which is the Twin Tanya spot. I guess you could say Twin Tanya was French vanilla, one check early.
So I
Another
guess
Mirage Vest, very nice.
What would be the worst thing to see here? Minotaur?
Oof. Minotaur would be really rough. Knight's default ability is Guard, and if you have a Sage Staff, you can let people die and then revive them at critical health with the Sage Staff, and then guard everyone.
This is not far behind.
Yes, you really need shell up on everyone. Well, the good news is that we've got a decent amount of hit points, and it's not very likely that Odin will be able to one-shot us with True Edge, because his True Edge rolls comet damage on everyone, and it's not particularly high. Like, 1200 is pretty typical. Ooh, Sleep Blade is great. You can put Odin to sleep, and then you can magic him down. Also, the Mind Blast. Odin can be paralyzed. Even though he's heavy and it doesn't last all that long, you're preventing him from taking that turn until you can put him to sleep. And then at that point, you can just use dancing or magic to kill him, and it'll be slow, but it'll get the job done. We have no Break Blade here. That would be like the ideal scenario, is you have Break Blade and you just one-shot Odin with it. but we have to rely on other methods like this instead.
Yep. And we do have Arch going to the catapult and fighting the abductor here.
That's a nice, generally easy fight if you've got any sort of instant kill stuff.
Yeah, see,
Deathclaw, for example.
There's level 3 flare for ArchfieldMonk. I'm surprised Arch didn't completely go with that strat.
Oh my gosh, yeah, against gargoyles, that's the perfect thing to use because they're level 33. I don't know where he picked it up. I didn't see him.
I don't know where he picked it up either.
Yeah. Very nice. Oh, you know what? I bet Xdeath used it against him. Castle Xdeath went through his script and used level 3 flare. I seem to recall it hitting during the fight, and then he won the fight, so he learned the spell. But yeah, that would have been the thing to do against gargoyles. Level 3 flare does not take multi-target damage penalty. It just does a straight flare against full damage flare against all targets that are a multiple of 3. So it's really nice for that fight.
Yeah, that would have made the gargoyles a pretty easy fight because you put 4 blue mages with summon. You bring up Golem all the time, and you just level 3 flare the gargoyles to death.
Yeah, they would not ever get a chance to get down deep into their script where they would be able to use fusion or anything. So now, if I'm Fiery, he doesn't want to be swinging with the knight to wake Odin back up. Maybe he thinks that the Mind Blast paralysis makes it so it doesn't matter. He's probably right about that, especially wearing the running shoes, so I guess that works out okay. Mind Blast is not a particularly strong spell, though. I feel like...
And the knight also has the sleep spellblade.
Right. So he's sleeping with one hit, and then he's waking with the next hit, and then sleeping and waking, so... I feel like maybe Fiery does not have Arrow 3, and so if he doesn't have Arrow 3, then this probably is the best way to go about it.
So Archfield now finds the pyramid page, and I would imagine we're going to see him immediately take that and go.
But he's going to want the loot.
We know there's not much there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. The pyramid takes a while to loot it all, but it has a lot of loot, and if you don't know what's in there, which certainly Arch has no way of knowing, you think that there's something that you need is probably going to be in there. And I don't know, maybe there's like one thing that might be really nice for him, but not very much.
So now I wonder, depending on what's in the void here, I wonder if Fiery checks the necrophobia spot for the save point.
Good question. I'm thinking no, but... because I think he's basically has what he needs. He's got Shell, and he's got Guild Toss, and he's got a heck of a lot of money. And I don't think that he needs really much else. He's got Golem, which is really nice. I think he'll be doing enough damage that he probably won't see any Grand Crosses. He probably wants to haste the entire team if possible. I'm not sure if that's a possibility or not. So I don't think he really needs to try and get the last save point. I think it's just going to be a long fight. And I also am expecting... He's got the magic lamp, so there's one piece the lamp can kill for you. You definitely want to check every single chest in the void on the way, though, because there's a very good chance of something like Big Guard or something really nice that can help you out for the final fight on like the last floors of the void.
So it doesn't look like he's guild tossing up his party.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that. I actually have not done the math in terms of how much money you need to guild toss everything without boosting level. Maybe he knows that he doesn't have enough. But here's the thing, you're not spending that much money against the tree because it's a single target. You're not spending You're only throwing at 3 targets against Ned because you have the magic lamp to kill 1. I think that he's got enough money that he's not going to run out. The levels certainly would help if they were higher. Maybe he feels that his damage is a little low. The tree has more defense than Ned does. Level 35, couldn't tell you off the top of my head how much damage Giltoss is going to do at level 35, but I think it's enough, especially if it's on everyone.
Oh,
there's an Odin. Would have been nice to see that earlier.
Uh-huh.
All those non-heavies just getting sliced instantly by Odin would have been really nice.
Video.
Yeah, Freddy in chat mentioning that Mind Blast takes care of one part of Ned. So the fight shouldn't be too bad, really. Maybe you put on the image ability, use cast image or something against your team so you don't take those physical hits along with Golem. I think it's doable, and yeah, he's not even going to look at the final save point boss. I might have looked just because maybe I wanted another level or something, but in the end, I don't think it really makes much difference.
All right, so here we go. Let's see what Fiery's plan is here for X-Death as ArchfieldMonk is looting the pyramid.
Yeah, right now, nobody has the health to survive. Only guessed without Shell. We have Shell, I believe. We can, yeah,
Only
we've got the white
6
ability.
Phoenix Downs, though.
Yeah, these white holes, you have to hope that the tree isn't too rude. You can put Shell up right now, and that actually will have the chance for white hole to hit, which certainly helps. It's probably about 100% most at the moment, so cutting it down to like 50% or so would be really nice. And we've got many elixirs. Fiery bought like 20 elixirs or something, so he's not going to run out of MP. It could be that his strat is to cast a lot of spells, even though he's got a lot of money to Giltoss as well. Just picked up Bahamut in the Void, right?
Yep.
So summon... If we have learned Summon 5 naturally, we could cast Bahamut. Yeah, shell up everybody here. On the other side, Arch is just fighting some of these pesky pyramid chest monster in a box encounters, which make the pyramid even slower to get through, but here he goes, gets the Archeosaur down. Ooh, Brave Blade. I don't know if Fiery got the Brave Blade. Yeah. I don't remember seeing that. Was this the no, it wasn't down. Oh, he went downstairs. Arch doing the full loot of the pyramid, going downstairs, and it pays off with Brave Blade for the knight, which hits extremely hard. Strongest sword in the game. Now we know the rest isn't all that great, but interesting divergence there from the runners about where they went in the pyramid. Okay, so Fiery going with the Berserked, I guess I'll say Berserker strat again, against the tree part at least, and then can always just kill off Kara if he doesn't want her to be zerking in phase 2 of this fight.
Arch about to get his 5 Thor hammers. To answer a question in chat from Freddy, where was the shop? World 2 shop, I think it was either Rugor or Sergei.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Maybe something was good at Rugor. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, Arch accidentally hitting one of those spikes. That's annoying.
Yeah, you know, if you cast float on your team, you can run over all the pyramid spikes. Sometimes I do that just so I don't have to be too careful running around in there. Or if you have a geomancer in the party, you don't take any damage when you run across them either. Alright, so Fiery looking pretty good. Trying to Dark Shock the tree. Let's see. You can lower its level and then its white holes will be less likely to hit. So that might be the reason why. I don't think that... well, I have done some like Dark Shocking to get tree exit down to be a multiple of 3, but Fiery does not have level 3 flare, so that wouldn't be his plan. And I don't think it works to Dark Shock him down to multiple of 5 or anything like that. So I think he's just purely doing it to decrease the hit rate of Whitehole.
So, you know, Arch has got to be very happy to see that Leviathan, though, because Arch does have the summoner job. So he can actually make use of that Leviathan on the gargoyle fight.
Yes. AoE damage versus gargoyles, that's probably what he will rely on there if he doesn't remember that level 3 flare works. Fiery going with some Mind Blasts. I don't think that the tree can be paralyzed or anything, so those Mind Blasts are pretty weak, but you know, everything is contributing. In fact, there's a bug in the game where if you hit the tree with Mind Blast and then the tree dies from HP leak, it will skip the next phase. And skipping the Ned phase is not allowed in the randomizer, so if that were to happen, Fiery would have to start the fight all over again.
Yeah, he would be forced to do a reset.
I've only heard of it happening to one person. It's very unlikely that you would get Ted down to such a perfect small amount of hit points that Mind Blast HP leak, which probably only removes about 10 hit points or maybe 20 at the most before the next person's turn, would actually kill tree with HP leak. It's very unlikely, but something to know about and watch out for just in case, maybe.
And we do have Arch now taking on Carbuncle here at the pyramid spot.
Oh, and there's the Meteo, but at least being shelled kept 2 people standing. Always, you never like to get Meteoed by the tree, but when you don't have a super-powered team, it's hard to avoid.
Xdeath, of course, asks why. And then has to, of course, ask what is Void.
Yeah, now Fiery is going to have to do a little bit of setup at the start here. He probably wants to kill off Kara so that she can actually aim and focus on maybe the Almagest part or something. He needs to reshell Ferris, who is... revive and then reshell Ferris, and he needs to lamp. I mean, you can do lamp. I'm a big fan of doing lamp early and getting one part taken care of. And I think with Mind Blast, you save the Grand Cross part for last. But other people do things in other orders. Like you could save the lamp for last, Lamp Odin, to kill the back part last, but in this case, I don't think that would be optimal.
And now we have Arch going up North Mountain.
Interesting. Okay, maybe looking for another quick and easy key item, hoping for Moogle Suit or Mirage Radar or something like that. Okay, so lamping for sure is good. Did we grab Phoenix out of Sealed Castle? Because you could get Ferris up that way, fill up her MP and everything that way. I kind of like Phoenix for the final fight sometimes. Okay, there goes the back from Lamp Odin using True Edge. Now there's only 3 parts left to Ned. The general strat would be to Mind Blast the Grand Cross part and basically just attack the other 2 with the rest of your team. Mind Blast is only doing about 1,000 per hit, so you're basically keeping that thing alive and locked down all the way until the end of the fight. And then, even at the end, when it's the last piece left, you're still locking it down with Mind Blast, and it never should get in a turn. The Berserker is very random damage. I don't personally care for the strategy to use it here, but it's just that there's a couple of dummy targets that the Berserker might attack and waste its turn. But we'll see if Fiery fixes that later or just continues same way he has been. Okay, well now it's fixed.
Yep, that was easy. Just let Extet take care of it for you.
There you go. And I mean, you saved a turn in a way that way. Let Exet do things for you, and you can save turns. But we do need to reshell her and reshell Ferris and probably do a White Wind. So there's definitely some management that needs to go on, and you don't want to lose too many turns because if you stop locking down the Grand Cross part, then you give it a chance to actually get in at Grand Cross, which is the thing we're trying to avoid.
Guardian's here at the Ifrit spot. Half annoying, but Guild Toss will take care of him.
Oh yeah, this is no problem for Arch at this point. Maybe there'll be something really interesting that he gets out of this. Sub key.
Marine
Well,
key.
it opens up a lot for you. I don't know which of those things I would necessarily do.
I mean, barrier towered, you do the chests, and then hope something's up top.
Could, or you could do Sunken Walls Tower, but that would only be a boss reward for either a key item or a nice item. All the other submarine spots require another key item that goes along with them, so... Fiery Mind Blasting the Almagest part. I don't think you can paralyze that part. That may have been either a missed target or not sure what the plan is with that. It could be just that he feels like his best attack that he has with Blue Mage is Mind Blast, which is really sad if that's true. That's such a weak spell. Yeah, he didn't get the Arrow 3, I guess. So yeah, that's what he's doing. Unfortunate. But you actually do need to... If I was him, I might break some rods or something. You could probably do like AoE damage that adds up to more than Mind Blast until he's out of rods at least. But yeah, I'm not really seeing much other options out of the two blue mages.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean, the nice thing about Mind Blast is I think it only uses like 7 MP, so...
Yeah, something ridiculously small.
You're not really running short on MP at least, and now you can White Wind and stuff. Like, I almost want the... I think that was Shote again in Barrier Tower that was in the first chest. You almost want your Blue Mage to have to use White Wind so it can do something useful and then Mind Blast on the Grand Cross part like Fiery's doing now. But then when they don't have any utility stuff to do, the damage has been really pathetic.
Yeah,
I think for some Yoichi bow crits here.
This is kind of the definition of slow and steady, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we got maybe 2 Yoichi bows in this seed and no Artemis. The Artemis actually crits the Almagest part of Ned every single time, so you would want actually to to get the Artemis.
There were Artemis bows for sale, I believe, in the basement of Sergate.
Oh, I did not see them.
IB Karma, what is bricking Archfield? Well, frankly, just damage output. As you can kind of see on Fiery's side, the damage output in this seed is terrible. And right now, what is bricking him is the gargoyle fight at the Apanda spot.
Yeah, we have talked already a little bit about how he does have level 3 flare, and he could have spammed that against the gargoyles, but just in general, not a whole lot of damage output in this seed, and he probably feels really underpowered, and is looking for probably the Mirage Radar or the Moogle suit to go and grab a bunch of strong things before he goes back into the void.
Yeah.
If you don't find either of those things in a seed, it can be kind of rough. You kind of have to do sort of the 4-job Fiesta style shoelaces and duct tape kind of fight for the final fight, which personally I love to see because it really makes the final fight sort of the climax of the run instead of a formality. Yeah, Fiery's doing the long, drawn-out fight here, and he's doing quite well at it. There have been no grand crosses. It's just taken a while, that's all. But he's in a really good shape. He bought like 21 elixirs. I don't think he's had to use one of them yet.
I think he just did.
Okay. So, plenty of
He's got
MP
plenty.
available, and yeah. I think his Phoenix down total is down to 3, so that's getting a little low. But other than that, not too worried.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Do we have life 2?
No.
Do we have white on anyone? I could have sworn maybe I saw life 2, but I might be.
I know we've seen
imagining
life.
that.
I don't think we have life 2.
We do have summon. Do we have the ability to use the Phoenix that was in Kuza? Because that's a full
Archfield
revive.
Archfield does.
Arch does. Okay.
Right? But remember, Fiery never did Hiryu Valley, so Fiery doesn't have the summon crystal. Does Mind Blast block the Grand Cross in all versions? I think it does. I think that version, that part of Neo XS, I think is coded to be vulnerable to paralysis.
Mind Blast is a spell that you don't get until you fight Stalker, and I think there's a good reason why they held back on it for so long, because it is really good in certain situations. There's a number of bosses that you can paralyze, and Fiery has done so in this seed. He paralyzed Titan, and I think he might have paralyzed, I can't remember, the gargoyles.
Gargoyles?
Yeah, and because he had running shoes on the Mind Blast user, they basically never got any turns. So it's a way to lock down a number of enemies, and really quite useful. So if you get it early in the randomizer, you can do a lot of things with it. It doesn't do a lot of damage, as we've seen here. So in some of our races with different flag settings, it doesn't get as much use. But in this particular setting, it's really paying off.
Arch getting stymied by Sword Dance luck here at the Califisteri spot in Hiryu Valley.
Ooh, and now she just armored herself. I wonder if okay, that's a reset. We don't want to deal with doing half damage from physical attacks against her. So another part died, yeah?
I think so.
I heard it. I think I heard the Almagus part die. So now all you have to do is have one person Mind Blast the back and go hard against the front with your Knight and your Hunter, and you should kill the front first, and then all that will be left is the back part, and it won't be too hard to keep it completely locked down.
ArchfieldMonk
could
getting
also,
again RNG'd by Califasteri here.
Yeah. Ooh, the stop on the Dancer. That kind of hurts. You were hoping to do a lot of damage with the Dancer. Yeah, I don't expect to see any Meteo or anything because Fiery is keeping this cross part completely locked down. All that really is hurting him is these vacuum waves, but he could summon Golem even to stop those too, and he's gonna do it.
He was listening to you.
Well, he just noticed, just like I did, that he actually took damage from one of those vacuum waves, so it's like, hey, must be time to recast Golem. Arch just took out Callow. Let's see if she gave anything interesting from Hear Valley. Oof.
Somebody just learned X magic, if that makes any difference.
Well, that's quite nice.
From the thief. The thief taught X magic.
Interesting. I feel like you can't use X magic with blue, but maybe something like Time Mage can use it.
Well, they have that gold hairpin from earlier, right? X, you can put it on a summoner. X Magic Leviathan.
Yeah, or Bahamut, which I believe is Deep in the Void, right? So
yeah, Deep in the Void.
Either of those, yeah.
But that's his. I would think X Magic Leviathan is his recipe for getting through the gargoyles.
Yes. That's an even better setup than he just had, because now instead of just one Leviathan at a time, he can do two at a time against them, and it'll do nice even damage to both. Seems like a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so take notes, anyone who's had done 4-job Fiesta maybe with a team that has Blue Mage, you can lock down the Grand Cross part, never see a Grand Cross as long as you've got one dedicated Mind Blast user hitting that top middle part, and you basically just chip it down real slow while keeping it paralyzed, and while you're taking out the other parts, and you'll basically save it for last, and it still can't do anything because you are keeping it paralyzed with Mind Blast. Mind Blast never misses, which is another great thing about the spell. So many other spells have a chance to miss, but not Mind Blast. And this is actually, started off as quite a jet seed, but we had to find some power to finish things out. This is a really fast time for Fiery.
I think, what was it, 45 minutes in? I think we had all four, I think both of our runners, right about 45 minutes in, had all 4 tablets, anti-barrier, and bracelet.
Yeah, and I did not check the time that we beat Castle X Stuff, but it was probably less than an hour. So, one piece is left for Ned, and all you have to do is just Mind Blast it with your Blue Mages and attack with the others. In fact, this is press and hold A to win territory at this point. And we've already weakened the Mind Blast part quite a bit, so it shouldn't take too long before it goes down.
Now we have Arch going back into the void, taking on these gargoyles here.
Yeah, let's see some throwing scrolls for AoE damage, and also probably going to use some Leviathan as well.
Looks like he's just going to throw the gargoyles to death.
That works. I don't know if he probably went and restocked on some scrolls. Well, he only has 4 lightning scrolls left, but he's got some of the other ones. Well, Arch has the summoner job, but he did not He did not go into the fight with Summoner, and I don't know what he... so I don't know if he's got, like, summon anything available to the ninjas. He's just going to throw scrolls instead. Which should do the job. There you go. Got him.
Yep, there go the gargoyles. So next on the menu is Titan.
He very well may use those X Magic double Leviathan or something against the final boss instead.
Yeah, I would think that would certainly be a viable strat.
I'm expecting Fiery to be done. Oh, then there he is. GG's in the chat for FieryBlizzard. Heck of a run there. Showed off a lot of game knowledge there, which having an underpowered team, if you've got Shell, if you've got a really good spell like Mind Blast, and if you've got some damage output, you can win that final fight. It just takes a while. And go and then fight. Oh, maybe he's here already.
I do believe we are joined in the commentator's booth here by tonight's winner, FieryBlizzard. FieryBlizzard, GG, very well played.
Oh God, that was. I said in the race time before this that it was either going to be a very fast seed or it was going to be a slog. It was just going to be weird, regardless of what was going to happen, though.
And then the seed said, "Why not both?"
Oh man. That was maybe the lowest amount of damage I've ever taken for an entire seed.
Yeah, the Blue Mage having Mind Blast as its damage-dealing spell. You don't expect to see that too often.
No, I mean, I could have grabbed Arrow 3 and L2 Old from the Magic Dragon, but I wasn't even thinking about Death by Math strats, so I figured, what are the odds? Like, I did a couple practice seeds, I got Blue Mage in exactly 0 of them, so... It was just... It just... There was no... there was no damage whatsoever for anybody. Like, I got a Dancer, I was like, oh, this would be great if I had any weapon whatsoever.
Yeah, pretty rough. Arch found few things that you didn't find, like, well, I guess he learned Arrow 3 naturally. He actually just threw his Masamune, but Equipped Katanas was around. I think maybe you guys both learned that.
Yeah, I think I got it, but I didn't have any good Masa or any Katanas, and so it was it was just I mean, that's what happens when it gives you all the tablets before you enter Xstuff's castle. It's just you don't do anything.
And not only that, so not only was it, you get all 4 tablets before Xstuff's castle, right? But what were the key items you actually had going into Xstuff's castle? You had the 4 tablets, you had the barrier, you had the anti-barrier, you had the bracelet, you had the Elder Branch that you needed. And that's
I think
I
think
Pyramid
Fiery
Page.
had Pyramid Page, yeah, but Arch didn't even have that. I think, yeah, it was like totally minimalist thing to go mode, basically. And even the sealed castle was full of junk. Didn't help very much.
You have a race tomorrow. I don't think I've seen a remotely decent sealed castle on this flag set, so that didn't surprise me at all.
Define decent. I mean, I've seen Leviathan Summon, I've seen a Masamune, I've seen a Ragnarok there. So I mean, there can be some good things there, but that Kuza Castle was legendary for its trash.
Yeah, I mean, I think people know that Samurai would be, in Moogle Village, although the Moogle suit, it could be anywhere. Not that it helped. I mean, we had no level boosting whatsoever. We didn't even find Sing, let alone Heroic Song or anything like that. So I tried. I stuck around those statues for a very long time, hoping something would show up. Because I knew I was going to get my money back, because I was just getting all these Slore Hammers. I'm like, I'm just going to buy a whole bunch of elixirs, and we're going to see what happens.
That was a cool strat. We enjoyed watching you gill toss some statues and get many hammers and then sell them for about $500,000.
I think we ended up with 704,000. or
Yeah.
something.
Something like that. And we are joined by tonight's runner-up, ArchfieldMonk. Archfield, well played, man. That was a seed. That was a thing.
GG's Monk.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you loud and clear, my friend.
We can hear you now. Go ahead and give us your thoughts.
GG Fiery, first of all. There's at least one guarantee whenever we get together for a race, and that is we will roll a pile of trash.
Something like that.
It was
If it were a standard seed,
if it were a standard seed,
110.
yeah, it would have. That probably would have been the fastest standard seed, like by 10 minutes that anyone's ever run. Because
Well, we don't have that gill toss, but we would have had like
we would have had probably, I don't even know, but
Well, I don't think you guys even found the Bard Crystal, did you?
no. If I had, it would have. I mean, but no Hero Song. It's just like there wasn't much of anything really. But like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I hardly remember the second half of the seed because the first half was kind of so bewildering. I just picked up that loose tablet at Tycoon Meteor and everything else was hinted, and it was a direct hint. And I'm like, all right, well, now what?
Yeah.
And I thought, so I have all the tablets, I'll just go to the void and maybe there's a couple bosses I can, use to turn to stone or whatever and just get past. But pick up as many chests as I can and see if there's any good loot there that's going to help. And even that, sealed was, I heard you talking about that when I came in. Sealed was terrible. There wasn't really much anything there. There was, I think, not much to speak of in the void, but yeah.
I mean, if that Blue Mage Crystal wasn't shown up in the void, I honestly have no idea what my end game was going to be. Like, that did save me because I just sat, like, my ending was just hold A for Mind Blast.
That was basically my plan. I went to get a couple things that I thought, well, if I stumble upon like mix, then I'll at least get Dark Shock, so I have it. And I did a couple other like small errands like that, but I keep looking at the clock going, it's like an hour and a half. I don't even really know what I'm going to do here. And like all of the key items must have been locked up in one long chain somewhere else because like Sunken Waltz or something, or behind triplets at the Odin check. I don't even know, but there were Fork Tower, I guess. But it was, wow. That was really a seed, and not chaos mode, that would have been probably an absolute jet. You could have figured out an end game there. I got Leviathan in the pyramid. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. I looted the pyramid as well because I'm like, I have nothing. Hopefully something's in the pyramid.
No, I full looted the pyramid. I hate full looting the pyramid. I like got every chest. There was a Brave Blade behind a monster in a box in the basement. Didn't really do much good, but it's just like grasping at straws.
We had figured that once you got the X magic on your thief, it was the thief that taught it, and then once you had the Summoner Crystal and Leviathan, it's like, all right, well, that's how Archfield's going to win.
Yes, that was when I saw X magic pop up. I'm like, all right, cool. But at that point too, I also felt like I probably had to be behind. I kind of spent a while dithering around the hour and a half mark where I was just like, okay, let's kind of do some stuff, but really, I'm kind of going through the motions here, trying to game plan, and it wasn't really helping.
And that was the one major advantage that you had kind of throughout, at least, up to X-Death, was the fact that you had the Summoner Crystal out of Hiryu Valley. And,
that's where it was.
Yeah.
I was tempted to go up there as like, nah, there's nothing there.
We thought that might be a factor in the race for sure. That was one divergence that you did. But actually, both of you guys were in the Castle X-Death fight at the same time. So very close up to that point, at least.
Oh, that fight took a while.
That fight took a while too. I would have been surprised if we weren't at X-Death at the same time, simply because
that's the way it works.
So much on rails to that point, and we often tend up in the X-Death fight at the same time.
And then you were both on the Stalker fight at the same time. That Stalker fight was, oh my god,
that was the worst Stalker strategy I've ever put together. I don't think you could paste together a worse Stalker strategy if you tried. But
I got
it was like halfway
impatient,
through the
and
fight, I even realized I had arrow 3.
I didn't, but I had a halfway through the fight. I got impatient. I was like, I'm going to hit this with a spell sleep blade or a sleep spell blade that already had stalkers asleep. And of course, if anyone's played this game and knows anything about stalkers, is that when you start doing stuff like that, stalker just completely goes off the rails. It doesn't behave like you expected, and it ruins everything. And so my last half of stalkers was just a mess as well.
That was kind of, I mean, that was half comedic, because we're watching it, we're like, nope, he's lost complete control of this fight, and Arch kind of never had control of the fight to begin with, and we were just sitting here
No.
like, okay, all right, well, this is going to take a while.
I got black 6. I'm like, cool, I could do something. I look at my black list, and there's this nothing after bio. I'm just like, okay.
I had purchased break pretty early. I think I used it to kill maybe 1 or 2 bosses.
I had break. I don't think I ever actually was able to cast it on anything.
But there wasn't much breakable in the seed.
No.
Yeah, except
that
for
void was
Odin, but you
interesting.
couldn't. He was in a spot where you couldn't use it on him. So
Oh yeah, and Arch never saw what was waiting for him after Titan. After Titan was Twintania, and then it was Odin.
Yep.
Okay, Twintania is fine, but Odin would be a bit of a jerk.
My Odin strat was, oh, this is Odin. This is bad. I'm like, my blast, put up sleep blade.
Yeah, that would have been a
mind blast the entire thing.
everybody's a blue mage.
With the poverty strats. It totally worked. Locked him down. I don't think he got a turn.
No, because his first turn would have been True Edge, and that would have killed my party at that spot.
Yeah. I mean, we were. I think it was Freddie that had made the comment in the chat that Fiery was showing off the power of Mind Blast. Because
it's a great spell.
It's a great spell, especially when you get bosses that are vulnerable to it, and you use it to full effect. But it was just slow.
It's a necessity when you're doing something that bad for the Neo Exta fight, though, because you're not going to be able to kill 2 things at once. In my case, it's not like I had summoned her or anything to use that Leviathan. And so I was like, I need to make sure I kill the first 3 parts. I had the Magic Lamp for the back part. I was like, I have White Wind and I have Shell Up. This should be theoretically a safe fight. It's just going to be so slow.
Did you consider doing some gill tossing at the end?
I did, but I know how the timing of that last part can go, and if you get it slightly off with 1 Mind Blaster, it can get rough. And so
for sure.
I figured gill toss with unleveled, and in fact I think I was level 35, it wasn't going to do any damage.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Off the top of my head, I wasn't sure how much it would do. The AoE might have made it quicker in the long run to use it, but you need to keep like you said, that cross part alive. The Mind Blasts would have damaged it more than the rest, so maybe that was a good plan.
Yeah,
I mean, use it.
The clear MVP for me was Shell. Right. I mean, Mind Blast was good, but Shell just let me survive on the guess, because I don't know if you found Break Blade, but I certainly didn't.
I didn't. No, I
No.
didn't. I didn't even find. I didn't even find Sleep Spellblade, so I don't know where that was. I only had, I think, Mute in the level 2 ones, which I had seen the level 3 like elemental ones, but I didn't buy anything at the time because I didn't have Mystic Knight yet.
I was hoping that we'd get slightly better drops on the random enemies, because I tried to go to the spots that had like 5 packs of the same enemy. I was like, okay, if something good is here, then I can just sell it and not worry about money. Eventually that became the statues, but I've seen packs that have Chicken Knives or Brave Blades or Kaiser Knuckles.
We noticed that you specifically went out of your way to do that against the dogs and outside of Moor.
The dogs dropped a Mirage Vest as a rare drop, so I was happy to get that immediately off the bat.
That's a good plan. I think I might try and incorporate that myself.
I tried
a little bit of that kind of work.
Yeah, I mean, it's also decent levels in the beginning, so I figured I have an AoE with the starting ninja, which I thought was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. I think you guys showed off some good strats there that we don't see in typical seeds. So I was entertained by it, and I imagined everyone else watching was as well.
It's interesting because I feel like I go into the void, or I get that blue mage crystal in the void. I'm like, I really wish I had L2 old right now. Although I'm never gonna hit Dark Shocks on it XDEF or Neo XDEF without level boosting. I mean, you can theoretically. It just is, it's so small.
Yeah, Arch
Yeah.
actually went back into Extus Castle to get level 2 old off the Magic Dragons.
Yeah, because I figured
Arrow
I could
3.
probably get Arrow 3 too, and I had an air knife, so I'm like, okay, this is maybe some damage finally. If I go get a couple of blue magic spells, so I just like found the single magic dragon encounter and hasted it and sat there and waited.
Yep. There was so the 5-pack outside of Moore dropped air knives as well.
Okay.
If you need more air knives.
I thought about going digging for more like random encounter drops, but I just ended up not doing it. I wish I would have done
I'm curious if doing more clears in Exdeath Castle, if maybe one of those would have given Mirage Radar or Moogle Suit or something. But there's you can, if either of you feel like checking, you can check and let us know in the Discord or something. But if someone had taken that route, it might have paid off and then led to a comeback. And if you find something really powerful and you can blaze through the rest of the seed, but either way, it was an entertaining time.
Yeah, ultimately, I think Monk and I were probably taking about the same route because I don't think Monk was going to not enter XF's castle with all 4 tablets as well, just because they were all sitting there nice and pretty.
Something I do think I need to mention to Arch. So gargoyles that fight the kind of forced out of the void, they're level 33.
Yeah, I've level 3 flare, which I wasn't thinking at all about that. I'd learned it from like the X-Death fight lasted so long he cast level 3 flare on me, so I learned it.
That's nice. It didn't do any of that for me, but luckily it only dispelled my berserk whatever Yoichi bow using Hunter once.
Yeah.
Unlike 10 times, but yeah.
Yeah, that fight was dumb, and I had Guild Toss, and I had plenty of money. I could have just chucked my way through that and totally forgot about it. And I didn't reset out of the first fight, so that was just a silly waste of time. Like if I look back on the seed, that's the one where I just go, okay, that was stupid in many regards, and I feel pretty bad about that. But on the whole, I'm pretty happy with the way things went. I didn't get much of a chance to practice this flag set and to just kind of jump into it. You're kind of looking at abilities and stuff, but it was a profoundly weird seed. Like I said, whenever Fire and I get together, we seem to roll these just kind of strange seeds. You end up with all this, the tablets within 45 minutes.
And the seed started so well. I mean, you guys were killing everything.
So
and then it just, then you guys hit a brick wall going 65 miles an hour.
Hey, they both got to show off the fusion done by the gargoyles, and then having to
it lasted so long
before it comes back.
And then I was like, all right, I'm holding Mind Blast and sleeping this. You're not getting another turn because I'm not dealing with this.
Full disclosure, I did not know the gargoyles used fusion. Never had that fight last that long.
Super deep in their script. I think there's 9 turns or something that go by before they have a 1/3 chance to use it or something crazy like that. But yeah, they can fusion, and then in a way it can be a good thing, but then if you give them a chance to bring back the other, it's basically like starting the entire fight all over again.
Yeah, I cast reset and then actually reset.
My bad. It's on the 5th turn. 1/3 chance on the 5th turn, and then it starts the script over again.
We showed off some very deep scripts in this race for it
Yes.
as we got to.
That's cool, though. I mean, I think you both had Shoat and a chance to try and instant kill the gargoyles after sleeping them, but did not do so just because it misses a lot. So
not at my level.
It may have worked or it may not have.
I mean, I was under the level of gargoyles. I think I was probably level 29 at that point, so maybe, but I don't think it would have really been worth it.
Yeah, I thought about that was the only like reasonable strategy that I thought of too, but I just thought this is probably not going to land, and I've only got summon on one character right now, so I'd have to reset out of the fight anyway. And as it turned out, I should have just done that in the first place. But yeah,
Yeah, this is very limited. I'm shocked I didn't pick up any Bolt, Fire 3, Ice 3, Bolt 3 from Pyramid or something else. It was just...
there were all these wizard rods. There's just wizard rods piled up like cordwood, and there's no level 3 elemental spells. I'm like, I could just black mage on everybody and go to this, but it didn't. Yeah, and
you managed to find X magic. I didn't even go to. I did some of the thief
from thief leveling.
I think I got to like thief level 4 or level 5. Is like I'm done. Like I think at that point I had 38 Thor hammers. I was just like, okay. Just selling this. I know where elixirs are. It was the only thing I kept track of because I went through like the shops so many times. I'm like, where are javelins? And it was the last place I checked. Or rainbow suit or ribbons that I never even used because we didn't have any weapons. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, it was a weird seed in terms of what it gave you. I felt like the void loot was very good, but up until then, not so much.
I mean, I'll just say, I guess I can agree because Blue Mage pretty much was the cornerstone at the end.
I think the lamp might have been in the void and some other good things too. But
Meteor was in the void. That was nice. All the way at the end. I'm sitting here with Time Mage and Time 6, and Meteor is in the inner void. I'm just like, I should expect this.
Yeah, I actually didn't even see you pick that up, but I think Arch was first to go in the void, and he got all that good loot, and then left before even doing the first fight to basically, looking for
anything?
Something. Yeah.
Anything?
Looking for something first instead of just diving in.
Anything that would do more than 1,000 damage.
Ichibo crits. That's the only thing that did it for me.
Did I guess I must have missed, unless I just totally overlooked the fact that I had Hunter Crystal, but I don't recall getting
it. Was in the Chocobo Forest.
Yep.
In World 1.
Oh, yep, didn't go. Yeah, that's I think Crescent, and I even landed there to learn Dark Shock, but I didn't go to Crescent. I didn't go to the Forest.
There were two job crystals there, actually.
Yeah, it was. What was the other one?
No, Dragoon? Was that a Next Stuff's Castle?
I had Dragoon, so
okay,
it wasn't that one.
Dancer?
No, Dancer was in. That was in North Mountain.
Yes.
Okay. I don't even remember then. Wasn't Chemist.
Mm-mm.
Don't quite
Red Mage? It might have been Red Mage.
Red Mage, I think you're right.
I did not have Red Mage, so that sounds accurate.
Red Mage, yes. I don't quite understand the rewards under these flags because they're just 315. They're the standard reward tiering that we use, but it seems so different.
Yeah, it's because all the
playing.
Yeah, it's because the abilities are removed, so everything gets shuffled around, including the shops. Like, I've had a practice seat that had Cure 3, X-Zone, like, various incredibly high tiering spells in World 1.
And when I did a seed with these flags, as I was looting the void, the actual inner void, right, I found an iron shield and gauntlets. It's like,
Yeah,
okay.
I saw some other junk pretty late as well. Not too much, but a little bit.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting with, like, hoping to find Life 2 or Cure 3, and I found neither. I'm like, okay, whatever. See, it has jokes.
Yeah, that's for sure. It was, but it was it was a different take on the randomizer, and that's what this tournament is about.
Indeed. And speaking of Fiery, you're going to be moving on to the finals for the 4-job final. What do you think about that?
I sincerely hope, between Dryalizer and Freddy, I'm looking forward to facing off to either one of you. I'm hoping that Samurai does not feature in the 4-job. That is, like, Mix is one thing I do not want to see Samurai, and I don't want to see Monk. Monk just because I hate the job. Samurai is so boring. That's all that's all I'm hoping for.
And
I
Arch,
can completely understand that. Go ahead, Arch.
Arch, a good showing from you, my friend. Well played up until the end. Very well played.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. The tournament I thought was a lot of fun. I got to do a bunch of different things I don't usually get to do, like the bingo rounds. I thought were especially interesting. So not a mode that I have ever done before. So it was good, and it's nice to pick the game back up again. It's I know I had been away from it for a bit before deciding to just kind of enter this, and didn't really even de-rust or anything beforehand. So to get this far is quite nice, and it was a really nice time. So thanks to everybody for putting it together.
Thank you
Let's give out some
continuing to be my opponent, Monk.
We
We have some good races. May not be good quality, or good quality seeds. We have some good races.
That's for sure. So I always look forward to it. GG Fiery, and best of luck to you in the final.
Thank you.
And for those of you that are still here, we actually do have our second semifinal, Freddie versus my co-commentator, Dreiselizer. That's actually going to be in just about 13 hours' time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. I guess tomorrow or today, depending on where you live. But again, in about 13 hours' time, we're going to have 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, Dreiselizers versus Freddie on SpeedGaming 4. And the winner of that will move on to play FieryBlizzard in the finals here in this tournament. So I think with that, we need to thank behind the scenes, right? We have to thank Gaia for doing a wonderful job tracking for us. I think why don't you send us on out of here for the night?
Okay, and once again, let's give our thanks to SpeedGaming, and we had Scoop restreaming us behind the scenes. Thanks so much again, and yeah, we will see you on another SpeedGaming channel real soon. Look forward to going up against Freddie after I get a good night's sleep. Thank you to everyone, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.